Hi there, and welcome to the third video in the first steps module. What I'm going to be doing in this video is going through the C major scale. The reason I'm going to be doing that is because it's the scale that just contains whole notes. So the notes are C, D, E, F, G, A and B. There's no sharps, there's no flats. When you were a small child, you possibly had one of those little xylophones with different colour keys on them. And as a kid, you can just hit them in any order. The reason that what always came out with something musical was because those were the notes they gave you. We quite often refer to it as do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do as well. So that's fairly familiar with most people. For this particular video, if we understand what these notes are, we can then put them together into a chord. So by the end of the video, what I want you to do is to know what the scale is, be able to play it, and also be able to play the chord that goes with the scale. Then in subsequent videos, what we're then going to do is build all the different chords that are associated with that scale, so we can get chords that we work to that all fit together. One of the problems that I always had when I was learning to play was I knew lots of chords to start with. I learned, 15, 20 chords to start with, but didn't understand how they fitted together. You're much better off learning 7 chords that work rather than 15 chords that don't necessarily. Okay, so to do this, we need to be using our left hand. So we have our first finger, second finger, third finger and fourth finger. And then we're going to be plucking notes down here. Now before we even look at the scale, let's just have a look at a very, very simple exercise. I get all people who have just started to do this because it helps to actually build some dexterity up. And it's literally just picking every note. So we have what's called a 1 fret per finger rule. So everything on the first fret, you fret with your first finger. Everything on the second fret, you fret with your second finger. Everything on the third with the third finger, and everything on the fourth fret with your fourth finger. This is the problem finger for most people when they're starting. So it makes sense right at the very start, when everything is difficult, to concentrate on the most difficult one as well. Otherwise, what happens is you develop the strength in your other fingers and this finger gets ignored. So a really, really simple exercise. We're just going to play every note from the E string and then move down to the second string, the B string, and then move down to the G string, down to the D string, down to the A string, and then down to the bottom E string. Now when you first start, you are going to find this difficult. It's something that the more you do it, the more you get used to it. You'll find as you move your hand round, your thumb is going to have to move around. Try and get your thumb behind the second fret, so it's slightly offset from your first finger. So it's kind of like that. But then also when you're playing on the top string, you want your thumb at the top of the neck, and when you're playing at the bottom string, you want your thumb further around the neck. So your thumb will actually move and your hand will move around the neck. So again, try and also play a downstroke and an upstroke. When people first start, they always do downstrokes. So they might do the exercise like down, 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 down. Try and aim to do it down, up, with your plectrum. Down, up, 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 down, up. Okay? Don't worry about speed, even if it's that speed, it doesn't matter at this stage. You're not aiming to play really, really fast. You're just aiming to start to get your fingers used to playing in a particular place on a guitar. It won't come straight away. How you hold the pick is quite important as well. Again, there's no actual right way or wrong way to do it, but try and get it so the pick is attacking the string at a right angle like that. You might want a slight movement in it, so it goes slightly that way, so when it hits the string it'll slide over it. If you have it very, very flat, you do get a better tone, but that takes a little while. Try not to have it too far over like that. One of the problems that I had when I first started playing is I used to hold the pick like that, but it went across the string, and I got a really, really horrible thin tone. And after I've been playing about 5 or 6 years, I actually had to relearn how to pick, holding the pick a different way. But you know, you can hold it like that. You can hold it. Some people hold it within 2 fingers like that. At this stage, I don't think it really, really matters. What I do is I'll have my first finger bending around. I'll put the pick on it like that, and then my thumb comes down on top of it. So if I take the pick away, I've actually got a flat area there, so that doesn't get in the way of the strings. And then the pick is sticking out probably about 5 millimeters, something like that. Okay, so just get the hang of doing that. It's not very musical at this stage, but it will be. Okay, now if we know that we're going to be playing everything on the first fret with our first finger, everything on the second fret with our second finger, third with the third finger, fourth with the fourth finger, what we then need to do is find these notes. So the notes of the C major scale, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Third fret on the A string is a C. And then our D string is open, that's the next one. Second fret on the D string is an E note. Third fret on the D string is an F note. Then we know the next string is an open G, so that's our G note. And the second fret on the G string is our A note. Then we've got our open B string. And then the first fret on the B string is our C note. So we've got that's third, open, second, third, open, second, open, first. 3, 0, 2, 3, 0, 2, 0, 1. Okay, so you 3, 0, 2, 3, 0, 2, 0, 1. Okay, so we will recognise the sound of that. Now what we do is we give each of those notes a number, very simple, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now this is how chords are actually constructed. If we take the first note, which is C, we take the third note, which is an E, and the fifth note, which is a G. We play those 3 strings together, we get something now that sounds like a musical chord. Okay. What we can do is then add another C on top. That's the same, an octave higher. And we've got an open E string. Now we play the E in the chord because that's the third note. So we can actually play that together as well. And that gives us our first chord, which is a chord of C. So that's third finger on the third fret of the A string, second finger on the second fret of the D string, G string open, first finger on the first fret of the B string, and our top string open. That's our chord of C, and then the scale. So you hear how the scale and the chord goes together. So what I want you to do to start with is just practice your dexterity in terms of getting all your fingers working. I know it's going to be difficult, but it will come. It's an easy one to remember. Practice the C major scale, 3rd fret on the A, open D, 2nd fret on the D, 3rd fret on the D, open G, 2nd fret on the G, open B, 1st fret on the B, and then the C chord that goes with that scale. That should keep you going to start with. What I'll then do is start looking at that C major scale and look at the chords that then go under each particular note. So that's the chord of C that goes under the C scale. We then need to look at what chord goes under the D note of that scale. So if I play that scale, there's going to be a chord that goes under that. So we go through the whole of the scale and we look at all of the chords that fit within all the notes of the scale. What that does is it gives us a key. So in the next lesson, I'm going to be going through the chords that fit in the key of C major and then show you how you can change between them. And then very, very quickly, you'll be doing something that actually sounds quite musical. Okay, so I'll leave you with that for now. Feel free to visit the website, www.myguitarteacher.co.uk, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.